Hey, this is part 3 of my weight loss update. So anyway, yeah, so I was saying that in regards to exercise, I will either walk around the neighborhood with my son in the sling, carrying him in the sling, and I've gotten almost up to 1.5 miles with him on me. And the cool thing about that is that he absolutely loves it. And he's like, he's around 17 pounds now. Everybody comments about how big he is. But the good thing about it is that he absolutely loves being in the sling, and he inevitably falls asleep. And I think that that's a wonderful thing, because it's, not only is it, I'm not only getting exercise, but that's also bonding time for me and my son. I'm able to show him things outside, and it helps with him learning stuff and everything, and to take in the nature and the fresh air, and then it almost always rocks him to sleep as well. So, it's like bonus, all these wonderful things that I'm getting out of just putting my son in the sling and taking him for a walk. And then, of course, once he gets up to the point where I can't carry him anymore, I'll just put him in the stroller and, walk him in the stroller. And that will be good exercise for me as well. So that's pretty much what I do for my exercise. Like I said, I'm mainly doing the, it's not just walking. I mean, it really is power walking, and, the walking is probably not going to do much benefit to someone who is going to the gym like 5 days a week and weight training and doing the elliptical and stuff like that. But for someone like me, I just started exercising 2 months ago, and excuse me, it's been 6 weeks since I started exercising. And, I just had a baby like 5.5 months ago, and that was a C-section. So, I think that I'm doing pretty good to be doing a 2-mile power walking. And the 2-mile walk is a 2-mile walk in about 30 minutes. She starts out with a very short, warm-up, and then at the very end, after the 2 miles is up, then you do a cool down. And I think I timed it at one point how long it was actually taking to do the actual 2 miles, because she has like a little tracker. She tells you whenever you've walked a mile, or a half mile, a mile, 1.5 miles, and then 2 miles. And so I have tracked that before, and I'm pretty sure it was about 30 minutes for 2 miles. And also, one other thing about the Walk Away the Pounds for abs, and I'm pretty sure that it's like this for all of the Walk Away the Pounds DVDs, it's not just walking either. She does like side steps, and you do different things in addition to just marching in place. You don't just march in place the whole time. And another thing, like for me, if I feel like it's not intense enough, if I'm really feeling the energy and I, want to get a little bit more out of it, I'll lift my legs higher. I mean, whenever I was in flag cord, we did a high step. And that was one thing that really kept my legs trim, was that high step. And whenever we did for those of you who don't know what high step is, that's where you basically have to bring your, if you've been in marching band, then you know what high step is. But you have to we were always told to bring your knee up to where your thigh is parallel to the ground, and we had to point our toes. So if you just imagine doing that, over and over and over again. It can get pretty intense on your thighs and your calves. And so, yeah. So if I'm feeling like I want a little bit more intensity or whatever, then I'll just kick it up a notch, and I'll make myself do the high step for a little while. Or whenever she does the side steps, there are ways that you can kick it up if you really want to. And also with the waistband or the resistance bands, she doesn't do it's not the whole DVD, like the whole 2-mile walk is not with the resistance band. She gets the resistance band out, and then she'll put it back in, and then she'll get it out and put it back in. And sometimes I feel like I want more from the resistance band, and so I'll just get it out, and I'll basically do the same things as what she was doing, in another part of the workout, and I'll just do that a little bit more on my own while the rest of the walking DVD is going on. So excuse me. So anyway, that's pretty much what I do as far as exercise is concerned, and it's working. I'm seeing about a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch loss on my waistline and my hips. Well, pretty much, let's see, my waistline, my hips, both of my thighs, and my calves. I'm seeing between a 1/4 and a 1/2 inch loss per week. Another thing that I had to remember whenever I first started exercising again is that whenever you start exercising, you start building muscle, and muscle weighs more than fat. And so it's important to measure yourself on a weekly basis in addition to weighing yourself, because if you just weigh yourself, you might not see very much of the loss, but you may have lost some of that fat. And if you measure yourself, then you'll know. Then you'll see, you'll be able to see that. And I actually have been measuring myself for the last 1.5 years, because while I was pregnant, I measured myself, to track my pregnancy growth and everything. And then after I came home from the hospital, I just continued to measure myself, because I just was curious to see how quickly I would, go back down, or, how quickly my body would adapt to not having a baby in it. And then, of course, whenever I started at the beginning of December really trying to lose weight, I started measuring other parts of my body as well. Like the parts of my body that I measure on a weekly basis, usually it's either Saturday or Sunday that I measure myself, I weigh myself, and I take pictures. And I weigh myself and measure myself first thing and I take pictures first thing in the morning before I have anything to eat, before I do anything, because I want to make sure that it's like my lowest. And the parts of my body that I measure are my neck, my biceps, my waist, my hips, and I do my hips including my little belly pooch. That's what I call it. And I basically go around my, my pooch. I make sure that I go around my pooch, and I go around my butt and my pooch, and that's what I call my hips. I measure each one of my thighs at the widest point of where my thighs are right now, and then I measure my calves at the widest point of my calf, and then I measure my ankles, and that's what I've been measuring now regularly, and then as far as my pictures are concerned, the pictures that I take are, I take a side picture, and I always make sure that I have, like, pictures of me with, like, a sport bra and shorts, and I try to make sure that I wear the same thing each week so that I can see the loss. But if you do this, once you've been doing it for a while, you'll really start to see a difference. But I take a side shot, a front shot, and then I'll take a back shot with my arms out, and that way I can see my back and I can see my arms. So yeah, those are the main things. So I better stop this now because I don't want to go over time, but anyway, that's my update, and I hope that all of you who are trying to lose weight are doing well, and I will see you in the next update. Thanks for watching. Bye.